It's your boy James Ellsworth, the man to beat AJ Styles not once, not twice, but three times the real winner of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And you are listening to Not for the Weak. Duh.
Sexy sounds and top music.
With Bro Loach.
Live in the building.
In the builder.
Yo, DJ!
That's how we do it.
You're in the mix.
You're in the mix with
Not for the Weak Pod.
Welcome to commercial-free radio.
It's not radio, dumbass.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise.
On the track.
the show will begin now.
You're always on the road. You're always doing something. You're always working. You got adrenaline. You got the cons you're doing all the time. You're doing big event in New York in March. With all that going on, James, how's your mental health, brother?
Oh, my dude. So, luckily for me, like we were talking earlier, I grew up in Baltimore and I'm still here. I live right by the airport. I'm in a nice part of it. I grew up in the bad part. And I'm not crying about that, but I really just did. So, I have the thickest skin you've ever seen. Like, I don't let shit bother me, bro. Like, I just don't. And I'm not bragging about that. I'm just being honest and realistic. Like, I don't. And it's a blessing in my life to have this thick skin. I don't let nothing bother me. I don't like. I have, beautiful wife. I have my two daughters, and they're all healthy and they're all safe, and they got a roof over their head. And there's food in the fridge. Like, that's all I care about. It's like, I take care of my family, and they're good. Like, in wrestling, you deal with a lot of criticism. You deal with a lot of fabricated bullshit, and I don't pay any mind to it. I don't let it bother me, and I just keep going, keep fighting, keep hustling. Like, and that's all you can do. You got to ignore the ignorance and keep rolling. So my mental health, honestly, is great, and I'm very, very fortunate. It is for sure.
Yeah, you're such a like. I look at your career now, and I hear a lot of your interviews, and I watch a lot of your work and stuff like that. Like, dude, your career is anybody would want your career. Like I'm talking about anybody, dude. You got over before like Roman Reigns. You had a fucking match with John Cena, AJ Styles. You came in as like a jobber with Braun Strowman. Like, yo, anybody that have your career is blessed, bro. Like, do you ever have a moment where it's like, because I know you do, like you just sit back and just be like, jeez, like I did everything. WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, you did it all, bro.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because I'm 40, and 40 is not old, but it's not young either. You're right, kind of right in the middle. And I'm like, man, I've accomplished everything I could ever dream to accomplish. Am I content? No, I still want to do more, which is crazy because like a guy that's 5'8", not the most cosmetically cleansing guy, 170 pounds. Like I have a little bit of athleticism, but I'm not like a Ricochet where I can bounce around everywhere. Like, for what I've been given by the Lord to work with, I took it and I used it to absolute best of my ability, and I've accomplished a lot, and I've been very blessed, man. Like when I did the match with Strowman, that's just an enhancement talent going in and putting a guy over. But like I was saying earlier, I just kind of stay ready. Like I knew going into that match, I was like, man, I got to do the absolute best I can in this 90 seconds, because that's all the match was, like a 90 seconds. And I was like, I gotta sell good. I gotta facial expressions, and then they gave me a promo. I was like, I gotta talk good. I gotta do I said I want to look back on this, and at the time, I thought it was gonna be my only WWE match. I want to look back on this and just know I did a good job. And I remember when the match was over and the 3 count happened, right away I thought to myself, like, man, I really feel like I did a good job. I hope they tell me I did a good job, because I feel like it. And this is a great story. This is my favorite story. So I get to the back after the match with Strowman, and Arn Anderson, who was the agent for the match, he goes, hey, man, you made my job easy. That was great. He goes, Vince wants to see you. And when he said Vince wants to see me, I thought I was going to get yelled at by Vince McMahon because I had walked down the ramp to get in the ring. And when you're in a handsome talent, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to walk around into the crowd and through like the timekeeper's table and into the ring, not down the ramp. And I walked down the ramp because I just wanted to walk down the ramp. Like I didn't think
Yeah.
I would ever get a chance to do it again. So I thought,
Mhm.
man, he's gonna yell at me for that, and I'm gonna never be allowed here again. Like, oh well. So I'll go and see Vince, and he goes, "Hey, uh, your facial expressions are great. Your selling was great. Your verbiage was great. I have no choice but to hire you. I'll be in touch this week." And
Nice.
I was like, what, huh? And then and then even then, I would feel like that was crazy that he said that, but I was like, it wasn't real to me till he actually called, and he did. He called,
Right.
he man of his word. He called. Yeah, so like that was just
Uh,
such a blessing. It was him. He saw something in me, and he just hired me right on the spot. Dude, that's why I never complain about what I've been able to accomplish. It was a blessing, man. Like I see guys, dude, this really gets my nerves. I see like former WWE guys or even talent that's there now go on like X and complain about
oh
how
yeah.
they're being treated or how I'm like, my God, like aren't you getting action figures made of you? Aren't you making a lot of money? Aren't you on TV? Like what? You know what I mean? I don't know. Just my humbled opinion. There's nothing to complain about
You
with
know
it.
what I think it is because and this was another thing I was gonna ask you because you went in and people might think like you're an overnight sensation. You know, it wasn't the fact that you threw a punch and R. Anderson was like, oh, that's that's your that that looked
Right.
good on you,
Yeah.
bro. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? People don't know that you actually had the work. Guys think like because they got the fucking body of an action figure, they look like a wrestler, but when they go on there, they can't sell to the people. Did you at any point, knowing that you had the skills that you had and you was in the door of WWE just as an enhancement, did that make you feel like, bro, this is just a one off? I'm not a Vince McMahon guy. Like, it'll never happen. I don't have the look. I'm around all of these fucking guys that are like 6'7", 6'8", and fucking 300 pounds of muscle. Did that ever like discourage you or just be like, this is just a dream that's just gonna end right here? Like, did that just stop before, or like how did that go?
Well, so I've been doing wrestling 14 years up until that point. I was in the business 14 years. So I started when I was 17. I was 31 when I had that match with Strowman. And yeah, man, like I always like had this mindset though. If I watch Saved by the Bell, Screech looks different from Mario Lopez, but he had a part, right? So I always looked at it that way. Yeah, 99 out of 100 guys look great. They all look awesome, right? So, but there could be that one guy. There was Colin Delaney. There was Spike Dudley. There was Mikey Whipwreck. There was 1, 2, 3 Kid. There was, but it was always. But you know how you can name all those guys quick? 'Cause there wasn't a lot of them. So, but I always thought maybe I could be that guy. Maybe I could be Spike Dudley. Maybe I could be like a better version of Colin Delaney or a better like because they didn't really give Colin too much of a chance. They gave him a chance, but not like you know he was like on the fake ECW, I call it, and Colin's a good wrestler, but I'm like, man, if I got that opportunity, I think I do well at it. I did think that, and I was just given that opportunity, and yeah, it went well. I didn't go through their system, their NXT, and which I would have loved to because they have time and money invested in people that did, and they're getting the best tutelage in the world, and they keep those guys around forever because they do have time and money invested in them. Me, they picked me up off the streets, so they're like, they did, a bunch of stuff with me, and then let me go. Well, yeah, because I'm not their guy, which I understood. It's a business, but yeah, man, like I never. To answer your question, yeah, did I think that could have been it? For sure. That day, I'm like, man, I want to do really well because this might be my one and only opportunity or chance to be in WWE, and I don't want to look back on it and go, man, that one WWE match I had absolutely sucked. So yeah, I mean, it crossed my mind that might be my only opportunity, but it also crossed my mind that maybe it wasn't. I didn't know. I didn't count myself out, is what I'm trying to say. So,
All right.
uh,
All right. So, you go in, it's a squash match, and then Vince gives you the I'm gonna call you back. So I know at some point in them 2 weeks you was either like that dude is full of shit or like you was waiting by that phone. When you finally got it and you was in the arena and you started working and everything, and then you seen where they put you. Did you walk? Because you worked in the Vince McMahon era.
Mm.
So did you walk on those eggshells like all the other employees do? Because I interviewed EC3 and he told me he just wasn't confident enough. He didn't feel like he had that access to him, even though he could have. He should have took those steps and those leaps for his career. Did you ever feel like, okay, I'm here and I'm just satisfied, or did you feel like, hey, Vince, like I want this, or like what? How was your experience? Was it eggshells for you?
Well, not at first, no, because at first I'm like, he picked me. Vince picked me. I'm in, right? Like he's the one that picked me, so he's the one that hired me. And every time I would do something on TV at first, this, when it's just like me and Dean Ambrose, who's now John Moxley, and AJ Styles doing like that whole storyline, I would get to the back of Vince like, man, you're really crushing it. He's like, you're absolute gold. Like he would like give me a lot of compliments, and I'm like, man, this is gold. So when that storyline was over, that's where I was like, uh-oh, now what? Because this was great. Like, there's nowhere. Like, I was pinning the WWE champion. I'm wrestling for the WWE title. I'm in every main event segment. Like, there's nowhere to go down from the anywhere to go but down from the main event. So I'm like, what now? And then, when I first was with Carmella, because that was the next thing, I like for the first month up there was no eggshells, but then it started a little bit because I'm like, man, I don't feel like I'm in the same spot. I love being with Carmella. She's great. Like, but my whole goal with Carmella is, man, if I'm gonna be with her, I want her to win the women's title. That was my whole goal with, because I'm here to help enhance her. That's my job.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna do. But at first, it's like, man, we weren't getting those positions at first. We were just kind of like, maybe we're on the card, maybe we're not. And I'm like, man, this ain't. And then once we won Money in the Bank, then it stopped again. I'm like, all right, we won the Money in the Bank. She's got the Money in the Bank contract. She's going to be champion. And then a month goes by, and I'm like, do they really need me now with her? That now she has the Money in the Bank contract. They don't really need me, right? So I start like, I'm a realist, man. I like,
Right.
yeah, I'm like having these thoughts in my head, and then they didn't need me. And then she like she cashed in and won the title. Then they brought me back because she had the title. Then now she has to hold on to it, right?
Right.
So they bring me back to get her to hold on to it. And as soon as they were ready for her to lose the title, they didn't need me anymore. That's me personally. Like, so eggshells. I know I was like, I don't know if I call it eggshells. I'm just being realistic about the situation. Every situation I was being realistic
Right.
about. Like I tried to take it all in and enjoy the whole time, like, and not be job scared because like I was happy to have a job and, no, I never wanted to leave. Who does? But I'm a realist. I'm like, I'm not their guy. And I know
Right.
that. And but I'm going to do whatever they give to me to the best of my abilities and hope they give me a call back. That was always my mentality.
All right. So you are a fan of the product, obviously. Still, I'm sure you still watch the product and everything, right?
Yeah.
You know the sick, twisted mind of Vince McMahon and his lackeys, right?
Mm.
At any point, did you feel like this is a sick, fucking, twisted joke that he's trying to just like make shit stick on the wall, but I'm gonna make this motherfucker stick? Or did you just feel like it was just like, at some point, like, was it reality? Like, where it was just like, because I'm sure at some point when they were putting you out, they knew you was good, but they didn't think you was going to get over the way you got over, right? Like,
Right,
you got over.
Yeah, so the first, like, I think red flag for them, from what I'm told, is when the T-shirt was the #1 seller.
Exactly.
I'm not supposed to be selling the most T-shirts. That's not for me. You know what I mean? That's their mentality. That ain't for me. And so when that happened, I think they were like, hey, that's when they turned me heel afterwards. You know what I mean? They slowed it down. And that's how, and again, I'm not mad at them for it. I'm not their guy. I'm not the guy they have time and money invested in. Those are the NXT guys. So
But it's business, right? Like, how could you be as good as you are, right? Because I remember watching you, and of course, I'm a fan, so I could be like, bro, I fucking like, why do they have them on there? And then it's like every week It's like that. You were like that one fucking summer jam that everybody fucking hated, but by the end of the summer, everybody was
Yeah,
singing the fucking
yeah.
song.
Everybody's like, you know what? That is kind of catchy. Yeah, yeah.
But
And
that is the psychology. Why is it that they can throw shit on the wall and shit that they'll do like they'll fuck up on a Gender Mahal or something like that, and they'll try to shove them down our throats like the Roman Reigns, and it's not sticking. But they give you and like fucking our truth and all of these guys that are not supposed to be here, and we're looking at y'all like that's the form of entertainment. Y'all put the E in the WWE. That's the entertainment part. Why is do you that you think that when you guys do your job and it's not what they want, they bury you?
right, like for me personally, I don't know. Like with our truth, they don't really bury him, and but he's in great shape. He looks like he did 20 years ago, and he's athletic. So that's their guy. That he has what they want: the athleticism and the good physique, and like all that. So they'll keep him around forever. But like with me, yeah, I'm just again like it goes back to I'm just not what they're looking for. So even though if they would give me something like I would crush it. The reactions were there. That's what this business is supposed to be, is getting the reactions from the crowd and entertaining the crowd and getting them to make noise. And I personally, and anybody go watch any SmackDown I was on, I personally accomplished that, whether I was a babyface or a heel, because I cared to. I see people come
Exactly.
out now. I won't name any names. I'm not a stooge, but like I see people come out now on SmackDown or Raw. Like there's some, not. I mean, most people get reactions these days. They're doing a great job of that. There are some that don't. Like the last week on SmackDown, there was this particular talent that came out and got like no reaction, and this person's been there for 4 or 5 years. I'm like, why is this person still here? Like that does go through my head. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like they need to either try something different, but why would they try something different when they're just on TV all the time anyway and nobody's saying anything? Like I'm like,
Yeah.
everybody should get reactions from the crowd. Everyone, there should be
Yeah.
nobody not getting reactions to me, man. Like, and I care. Like I just cared about getting the reactions, and they give me some things that most of the stuff they gave me was great. The stuff with AJ and Moxley and the stuff with Carmella, that was all great stuff. And so the tail end of Carmella and I the first time before they brought me back and I got her through Asuka through the summer of 2018. But right before then, they had her like put me in a dog leash and all that, and I knew that was bad. I'm like, this sucks. All right, I was like,
Yeah.
and I don't know why they did that. They were trying to do like shock TV or whatever it was, but you know, 2019 WWE, like, and everybody brings that year up. It was rough to watch. Like, and Vince had been doing TV for over 40 years. Maybe he was bored. Maybe he's just. You
Yeah.
gotta think of it that way. He did so much great stuff with Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena and all these guys, right? That made these guys super mega stars. The Rock, like, and at some point it might have became boring to him. I don't know. I don't mock Vince McMahon
Oh,
too much because he's the one who gave me the opportunity, and he's the greatest wrestling promoter of all time.